Hey guys, it's Kelly in California, and this is my follow-up video for the Epic Gopher Repellent. And if you have gophers in your garden, then you know what a pain they can be. And they're just searching for water, they're searching for plants, and they're eating your plants that you've got in your garden and that you've been nurturing all along. And it's really disheartening. And in the first and second video, I showed how I applied the Gopher Scram and how I did the 10-day follow-up. And now I'm at that past 30-day mark. And I know a lot of you have been asking, when's the third video coming out? Is it working? Is the Gopher Scram working? So I'm not going to be cheesy today. I'm not going to show myself falling over gopher holes and tripping with dirt in my mouth. And I won't be exploiting Larry the lazy cat. I'll leave him alone today. And I won't be crawling on the ground with a black powder rifle. I've put the rifle away. Don't need it anymore. Because I know you just want to know, is the stuff working? Is this Gopher Scram really getting the gophers to leave the garden? So today I put out the Gopher Scram in my 30-day application and watered it in really good this morning, the 20 minutes. And yep, I have to tell you, maybe, and I have to say yes. Where I applied the Gopher Scram, I'm not seeing any new activity. The gophers have completely gotten away from that area in the spiral. And now I'm seeing different places where they're coming up. But I did not put it on my whole garden. I put it on the one area that was the biggest concern for me. And it's worked great. And basically, think like the gopher. You got to think like the gopher. They're out for survival. And so anytime you apply this, you want to make sure that you're watching really good to see if there's any activity. And they're going to start to, those gophers are going to start to branch out. They're going to branch out because they're not liking the repellent. So you're going to see them moving out a little bit away, a little at a time, new holes coming up where they're tunneling. And you just need to go ahead and put some of the granules in those holes and just keep up with it. The key here is persistence. You have to be persistent with the putting out the gopher repellent, and the scram has to be watered in. You can't skip steps. So make sure that you're using it the way it's instructed. When you put it out, make sure you're following up, and it's going to work for you too. So I'm just happy to say that everything is working well with the Gopher Scram. In fact, I am ready to plant some more plants around the spiral, and I'm not even going to protect these this time. It's all about the scram. And I want to say thank you to Iron Man, and thank you to the head honcho at Epic Repellents, who's graciously spent a lot of time with me going over gopher behavior and applying that Gopher Scram and the persistence, and think like a gopher. You gotta think like a gopher. And it's really been great working with Epic Repellents. Now watch the video if you haven't already. In the first video, I told how that whole thing with Epic Repellents came to be about with my brother Bill, reaching out to them. And they have gone over and beyond to help me with the gophers in the garden, getting rid of them. And I have to say, when the top guy at a company calls you and spends 2 hours on the phone with you and says, I just want to help you, and he has taken on this gopher challenge as his personal challenge to get rid of the gophers in my garden, that's pretty impressive. And I am so happy to say that I'm going to be working with Epic Repellents in the future. I'm going to be using the product, and I'm hoping that I can get some product reviews from my mom, who's purchased their product called Deer Scram. And she's having a big time problem with deers eating a lot of her plants, a lot of her flowers, and she has hostas and loves her hostas, and so do they, unfortunately. So we'll follow up with Mom and see how that's going. And yeah, exciting products that they have to help homeowners and gardeners to keep those pests out of the garden. And I'm just really excited to be able to work with Epic. They've been fantastic. I'm over the moon really about it because they didn't have to do this. They have shipped me product at their cost over and over again to do these videos and to make sure that the gopher goes away. And I've applied it just like anybody else would be applying it, no different. They've gone over and beyond supplying me with the product, and that is, you just don't get that kind of customer service anymore. And I'm not a customer, I didn't pay. So that is pretty phenomenal. And the top guy says he's in it to help people. He really has a passion for this. He loves to develop new formulas, and they're constantly developing new formulas to get different critters out of your areas of concern in your garden, on your lawns, on your property. So go to their website. I'll put a link in the description and you can check them out. And I just want to say thank you again to Epic and the whole team at Epic, from the top all the way to the shipping department. You guys are awesome. And to send the gophers packing.